guys, BBI here. I want to stop and say thanks for tuning in and checking out whatever the video is about that's about ready to come up next. If you could take a minute and hit subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoy what you've seen here, make sure to hit the like button. We'd greatly appreciate your support. Anyhow, guys, all that aside, let's get on with the show. I think this is the most appropriate place to start. Working on this on and off for a while now. Had to get the cabinet and get prepped for it, but we're going to start here. We're going to do a magic transformation of a 667. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. Absolutely friggin' amazing. Believe it or not, it's still a 667. Let's slide these very valuable little jewels aside. And we'll slide this guy into its place. This amp's going to be up for sale soon. I took this in on a trade deal. It's a full up 667. I went through it, repilled it, cleaned it all up, put HGs in it, put 316 coax in it, DS, and power wire upgrades, the full money. Full meal, full breath deal. Okay. This is going to magically turn into this guy. I'll put the tin away on this. This guy here. Look at that. Poof. It's now 667. Check it out. 1 driving, 2 driving, 6. We're going to make this 1x2x6 into the coolest 667 you've ever seen. Well, at this point I highly doubt I'm going to be able to do anything new that you guys haven't ever seen before, but we're going to make this pretty friggin' neat. This is going to transform itself into a 667. We're going to start here. Blank slate. So, on that note, poof, let's take you on to the next step. Okay. Customer wants me to check the gain of these transistors. What are we thinking? Mid-30s? I'm thinking mid-30s. Gain 71. Which is great, actually. I'm gonna miss these little guys when they're gone. Really am. 61. Another really good transistor. Another awesome transistor. Okay, next step. It's about last week this time I shot that last segment with the transistors. Okay, I think this is about the right place to jump back in. Poof, look at the 667 now. It's got 6 2879 Toshibas in it. 2 red dot, the rest are not. It's the way it is. These gains matched up with the gains in these, so it's technically a match set, not a matched lot, but a match gain set. We went ahead and we drilled another hole in the cabinet for the positive lead. We got the ground wire installed. We got our input splitter, our output combiner installed. Output transformers, BBI transformers, of course, our 30 amp relay in the back, way overkill, our variable tuner, our remote plug, and everything has been hand matched within 1%. Even the length of the wires have been hand matched. So now the rough out process, which is the fun bit for me. It's a keying circuit. Input RF that's going to go over here to a board. Splitters, little pieces of mini coax. Little pieces of mini coax with 316 going out over here to the combiner. Output circuit, tune it, key it, run it, and then we're going to do the radio. Oh yes, I said radio. So on that note, I'm going to finish up this amp. We're going to come back, we'll do a little test video of it, and then we're going to jump over to the radio. So give me just a hot minute, we'll get this finished up. As in like 3 or 4 hours. Oh yeah, on-off switching LEDs too. And that's pretty straightforward. Alright, we shall return. I think this is the coolest place to cut back in. Okay man, it's all completed. It's all been roughed out and everything's all reassembled on it, or assembled on it. Your 667 has undergone a magical transformation. It's got a couple more transistors in it now. Whole new relay. Well, whole new cabinet. Whole new heatsink, whole new board. Brand new output transformers, brand new input transformers. Brand new splitter circuit. Brand new combiner circuit. Different remote, actually having a remote. It's now an incredible high drive amplifier. And it's got laminate air laminate air cooling to it, with a high flow 120 millimeter 1.25" thick fan. It's an amazing looking 667, isn't it? Amazing. So anyhow, let's run it here real quick. We're going to use the Stryker 490. It's a 1,000 watt slug and peak, 1,000 in average, 5 watt slug and reverse. Now you know that this radio does nothing for bird watts almost. Let's see, we're going to use a 5 watt slug doing the Stryker. I really need to change that label, I know. Pass through tune's good. Here's your drive power. 125-ish, give or take. Let's go turn the amp on. Of course, we're going to bury it in a corner, obviously. Let's go ahead and take this up to 2x. That's about 1,500 peak watts. Just squeaking over that 1,400 to about 1,500 watts. About 200 bird. Input reflect. Is good. Okay. So now, normally this is where I'd wrap up the video. But unfortunately, no. There's more to this song and dance and program than meets the eye. So the reason I jumped directly onto the 490 is because the guy got this idea in his head. Says, now BBI, goes, I just watched the video that you did on your bench 490. I said, oh yeah? He goes, I want you to make my 490 like your 490. I said, well, that's a lot harder than you think. He said, well, why is that? I said, because I don't have your 490. And he goes, yes, you do. He'd send it in with this 667. Okay. And he wasn't kidding. I went over and I looked on the shelf, and this is what presented itself to me. $490. I was like, damn. Because I want you to do the power wire upgrade like what you did on your radio. And he goes, I want you to make this just like your radio. And I said, I don't know if I can. He goes, well, why can't you? He goes, well, I said, because of this one transistor. It's like almost impossible to find one of these guys. That is the MRF 477. These things are impossible to find. He goes, well, I don't care what it would cost. This is what I want. I said, well, I'll call the guy that sold me my last 477, and I'll see if he has one more that he's willing to part with. Well, my friend happened to have one more 490 or 477 he was willing to part with. So now I'm stuck doing this radio. So I'm going to finish buttoning this up and put all the screws on it, put the warranty sticker on it, because we don't need to go back in this thing for anything. It's all ready to go. The next segment is we're going to modify this. We shall return. Okay, so we're hooked up to the stock power lead, and we're now on a 100 watt slug going forward. Spectrum analyzer set for 50 kcs wide. Let's increase our voltage reading ability here.
Back this down. Okay.
We're going to mic gain all the way up, and our variable power is also all the way up. Oh boy.
Audio. So now in all fairness, let's back this down. We'll bring it all the way down to quarter. Audio 1, 2. That's not too bad. Just sounds muffled and like dicks in the mouth. Hello, 1, 2, hello. Not too bad. Yeah. Okay. Hello.
60 whole watts. Let's crank the mic gain to max again.
Hello. 70 whole watts. Alright. Now let's do it at the 4.
And an after chest. Let's go ahead and shut that down. Let's do this. Let's grab our cable here. We'll cut off about this much wire, and we'll take the rest of this and we'll throw it in the effort bucket into the trash can. So now, let's have ourselves a little bit of fun. Just a little bit. Not allowed to have too much fun over here. Everybody freaks out and loses their mind. Oh my God, he's enjoying himself. I know. No, not allowed. So, I covered this in the 490 and the 497 video, that there's a huge difference that can be achieved by simply replacing our power wire so we can get a little bit more amperage to the radio. Now don't get me wrong, we're going to go in here and we're going to do a bunch of other shit to this radio, but not really about that much. Let's start by doing this. I'll be right back. Okay, so we've upgraded our power wire feeding the radio, and if it was up to me, I'd change it out to something like a 50 amp Anderson clip that hung on the bottom side of the radio, but we're just going to run with this for right now. So any kind of monetary gain that we see at all, any kind of gain whatsoever, is just simply from removing the resistance of too small a power wire feeding a radio. So we picked up 10 peak watts. Hello, audio 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so now we got to work on the audio chain, and we're going to have to change that by changing our coils in the back of the radio a little bit. But everything we do from here on out, this will serve as our baseline. Is stock radio, stock-ish. Right? That's my wife yelling at me on the radio. No, you all don't get to know her call sign, you creepy stalker bastards. Okay, any kind of improvement we see from this point forward is going to be inside the radio. That was just, we picked up 10 watts by simply changing out our power wire feeding the radio. Lowered the resistance. I told the story about the guy that I used to know, bad habit, the creepy dude that was always trying to skip out on paying his child support, so he lived in a camper, one of them camp-over campers in the back of his truck on top of the mountain. Had a big like 1/0 gauge cable going up to his 148 because it got him 2 more watts. There's something to that. So, now that we know, we're going to mosey on forward. So, next segment. Let's pop the tins and let's see what kind of boogered mess we've got on the inside. And guys, remember, I am not the Stryker whisperer. I'm not that dude. I don't do radios. I just do amps. So everything I'm doing here, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some radio guy out there that's rolling his eyes, flipping over in his grave and going, "Oh my God!" Now this, in my opinion, isn't too bad for modulation, because we have this knob. It's called mic gain control right here. It's all slapped into it's flat topping and folding back into the negatives and stuff. You can fix that by just turning the mic gain down. You guys know that, right? So we're going to go in here and we're going to see if the limiter's still in it. Like I was able to achieve almost 200 watts output with this radio with having all the limiters in it. And we're going to see if we can emulate that on the inside. Now, hopefully they haven't gone and screwed me, because there's like 19 different versions of the output boards on this box, or on this radio. There's a whole bunch. It's like 5 or 6, not 19. So, we'll see what we get in here. So, let's teabag this once or twice and get on with it. Okay, so let's look down inside of here. We got a 1446. And I need a flashlight. Pretty sure it's going to be like an Everflow 2166 that's in there. They got a little desperate there towards the end when they were putting these together. See, what do we got in there? Yeah, it's an Everflow. Everflow. Yeah, it's 1969. Yeah, whatever. We're going to put bigger parts in there, bigger big boy parts. And see if we can get a couple more scooching watts out of it. So, first things first, every single one of these I've ever seen, this is always busted off. They couldn't take the time and really melt it down, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to take the 1446 out. We're going to put 2879 Toshiba in there. And then we're going to put a 477 final in there. And we're going to take and crank it up, because we're not going to be anywhere close to the headroom of either one of the components. And then we're going to put an upgraded power wire, because this is woefully inadequate. This little tiny wire is just pathetic. And we're going to squeeze these two wires back together, and we'll see if we can get rid of them weird secondary side harmonics, which most people would consider to be sidebands, but we'll readjust these coils that are spread as well. Okay, away we go. Don't let me get confused here. We're also going to put this bigger voltage regulator in here. This is also a Toshiba part. It's basically the same component as what's in the Max modification, but I won't need to drill an extra hole in the case. I'll be able to work with our stock location of components in here, and we'll be able to squeeze it into this hole. And I'm very interested to see if this will make any output difference over there. So we'll see. Okay, well, we got the new voltage regulator installed. Here's the old one. Watt meter, 100 watt slug and peak. Hello. There's no real solid improvement there. All right, well, let's change this out. See what we get. Okay, so, excuse me. 2879 Toshiba red dot in there with a little upgraded distribution power wire. Watch this. 100 watt slug and 1X. Hello. I woke it up a little bit. Alright, so let's go up to 2X. Now full deflection is 200 watts. So right about there is 1,000, 12, 14, God, I'm so used to working with 1,000 watt slug. 100, 12, 140. And we'll go on out there towards like 180. Or 160, I mean. Hello. 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 So we're getting just a hair towards 150 out of it now. I woke it up quite a bit though. Bigger voltage regulator, upgrade power wire on the inside, and 2879. So far we're up to that many parts. Just some many. Alright, let's do the hard bit. Let's change the final. Whoop, whoop. This is interesting. Got the MR477 in there. Check this out. This is 100 watt slug and 2X. Oh, less poop. Oh, I think I'm going to put that Everflow final back in there. It's not what I seen the last time around, but then again, we'll pull that 477 out and put the Everflow back in it. Well, I think we're going to stop while we're ahead. We went ahead and did the heatsink on the driver final. The Everflow is back in there. We got the 2879 Toshiba back in there. 100 watt slug and 2X. Hello. Hello. I'll settle for the 150 watts. Let me explain to you why. Okay. Because 150 watts, it's a 1,000 watt slug in 1X. It's a 1,000 watt slug in a corner. We'll go ahead and click it into 2X. Now remember, let me grab myself an educated pointed tool. That's 1,000, 12, 14, 1,600. Ready? Seeing 1550 and change out of this thing. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. It's 1:40 in the morning. I've now spent my entire day working on this. Not this, mostly this, getting this finished. 1550 is good, especially from a slightly modified 667. Wink, wink. Gentlemen, I gotta go. I'm gonna put the tins on this son of a bitch. I'm gonna box this bastard up. So I got the warranty sticker on it. It says if you break this seal, you're fucked. It's the truth. I'm gonna go. I've got an 8 pill that I gotta go finish up for my buddy David Mackey. I get that bastard done and get it in the mail. I got another one I gotta start on for him. So on that note, I'm gonna say auf Wiedersehen, guten Tag. See you, hasta la vega. Bye-bye. Sayonara. Look, you guys, I don't want to do any more of these radios. I really don't. I'm just not a radio guy. I'm just not. But it's always fun. And to see this thing produce with a little bit more drive, apparently, than what my radio's putting out, which has kind of got me wondering what the hell's going on. I'll have to go back and look at my radio. I'm going to leave this alone. I'm going to call this a done deal. End of the day. And we're going to walk away. And then we're going to run. Oh, wait a minute. I'll live with that. I'll live with that. Bump bump from the biggest duck in Idaho. Come check us out, www.bbiamps.com, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and right here on YouTube, Gargler. I'll see you guys. I'm done. Bye, 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 bye.